Yo,
We made it.
we did it.
We're kind of, yeah, welcome.
Welcome.
You're welcome.
Kiri, those are great options. I love hot, spicy chips. That sounds good. Sour
Yes.
cream chips. Anything sour cream is good.
Yes, I do like this question going on right now that my favorite kind
Hmm.
of chips. There are so
What's your
many
favorite
different
kind of?
kinds of chips that I really like.
Yeah,
I don't know, I guess it
I
depends. I
know
really
you're a
like
chip guy.
tortilla chips. Like Mianglios has got the right idea.
Yeah, right
Uh
from the freshly baked. Yeah,
yeah, I was just in your
or
city
fried.
like a week or two ago and your
Oh,
uncle,
sorry.
bless you. Your uncle took us to that Mexican restaurant right downtown.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was so good and the chips were fantastic and I was like, oh
Okay.
man, but they're like fresh at a Mexican restaurant. Those chips, they
Yeah,
they deep fry them in the fryer. They come out and they're still warm and they're
right.
greasy and
Yeah,
wonderful. Oh
yeah,
yeah, those are great. But the hot
yeah,
chili or sour cream, that works. If it's gonna
yeah,
be hot chili, I kind of like it to
yeah.
be Fritos. They have the
Oh,
chili
yeah.
cheese Fritos that are really good.
I haven't had those yet. I
Oh,
know that they've been out for a little while, but I haven't had them yet.
I have a
I'm not that big
partial
a fan
bag.
of
I
that.
have a I have a partial bag of those sitting like 20 feet from me.
Oh man.
They've been
You
sitting
want
there for
to toss one?
probably a year and a half.
It shows how much you like them.
I forgot about them. Like my
Oh,
son wanted them, and so I was like, and so I bought them, and then we were eating them, and it was great. And then
uh,
then he went back to his mom's, and like I was like, okay, and then they just sat there, and I forgot. And then I just saw them like the other day, and I was like,
really?
oh man, those are still sitting there.
Um,
I'm sure they're
yeah,
not good anymore.
yeah. Some people don't have good habits of closing the bag up, but no matter how good your bag handling techniques are, a year of an open bag of chips is definitely stale.
Yeah, they're for
Unless,
sure gonna be stale.
unless you like
I'm quite
unless you
positive.
get like a vacuum sealing machine that you do with your chips, which I highly doubt.
Oh, nope. Well,
But
they
people
don't
don't
last long
like
enough
chips.
usually.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
They're
Mhm.
usually gone in like a day. But
Well, one thing that I do, because if you give me I drink everything very slowly, and everybody around me can confirm, like, I just sip, 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 and like, it takes forever for me to drink anything. So if I
mhm.
open up a can of pop, it will go flat before I'm done drinking even one-third of it.
Wow.
So I get saran wrap and I put it on the can, and then I lift it up, take a drink, put it back. And then the pop holds for the entire time I drink it, which takes several hours.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, oops. Let me, the mic isn't even facing me. Sorry about that.
Bun
There we go.
cutie. Bun cutie.
That's me.
I thought it was me.
No, it was, oh, sorry about that. Yeah, wow, big difference. Sorry about that. That's much better. Okay, good. Yeah, the mic
Yes.
was like literally behind my computer facing sideways. Not helpful at all. So thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you sound like a million times better now. It's great.
good,
Now we
good.
can start.
Wow, now we can start.
Yes, now we
Young
can.
Leo's did not start on the Christmas album. Though, but I did hear Mariah Carey's song today. Not that I heard her song, but my wife was singing, and I was like, how can that be a song that she ever made any money off of? I don't like that song at all. Sorry to those who do, but I do not like that song.
Yeah, me neither. It's all
And
right.
so I'm
Hey, you
like, you
can
know
like it
what?
all you want. That's all right.
We
Like,
do need better Christmas music.
yeah,
That's fair.
we need a very static P Christmas.
I'm starting to get on board. If that's how bad we are, then maybe someone needs to make Christmas a little better,
That's
make Christmas a little brighter.
yeah, right. Just think, just think. Anytime you think, oh, I don't want to do a Christmas album, just think Mariah Carey.
Hmm. Yeah, and my wife was saying every year she comes with like a different pitch to resell her song. It's like, hey, check out my music video, blah blah blah. It's the same one. Just, hey, it's Christmas. You know what time of the year it is. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, we could do that every year. Just be like, guys, have you heard a very static Christmas? Out now. Listen to it. Check it out. All right. And then, some people will see that it's the seventh year in a row that we've done this, and that's okay. But
Mm-hmm.
hey, if Mariah Carey's doing it and it's been out for 15 years, 20 years for her,
Something. It's crazy.
then it's got to be okay.
It's been around since Mariah Carey was popular, which was a long
It's not
time
even a
ago.
Halloween yet. Well, yeah, that's true. Well, that's kind of good because you want to start early on these things.
Well, but seriously though, I mean, you know, Mystical
Brian
Yuki,
Carey?
I'm with you. Like seriously, like why so much Christmas stuff? And
Hmm.
a Carrie Dream, it's not even Halloween yet. You're right. It's so dumb. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
we still need. Well, Akiri probably doesn't celebrate our Thanksgiving, but I wonder if Akiri has her own Thanksgiving. I don't know about that.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Jeez. I mean, I'm surprised they don't have like, their 4th of July stuff out already. Pete's
Yeah,
sake. Like, come on.
4th of July.
Like it just keeps getting earlier and earlier and earlier.
Yeah,
They've
it
totally
does.
disregarded the best Thanksgiving ever, which is Thanksgiving. And I'm sorry for those of you who are not Americans that don't have
Mhm.
Thanksgiving. You should have Thanksgiving. It should
Canadians
be
have
something
Thanksgiving.
all do
There are
they?
several countries that do. Yeah, there's several countries that have Thanksgiving, but they're at different dates.
Oh, gotcha. All right. No Thanksgiving. It's such a bummer.
Uh,
It's the best holiday because you don't have to go and do a whole. That's probably why they don't like do it in the stores all that much because all it is food. You just
yeah.
eat food. And I remember like when I worked at a
Yeah.
grocery store when I was younger, that was like the week before Thanksgiving was always so busy because it's a grocery store, and so it was like people getting food. They'd always be, oh, make sure you got the pumpkin cans and stuff, the canned pumpkin junk, whatever, because people gonna make their pumpkin pie and green beans for the green bean casseroles and the potatoes and everything. Like they're just like make sure all that's stocked well, and it would just
Everybody.
fly off the shelves, and it's so busy.
Hmm.
But man, Thanksgiving's great because all you do is you get together with people that you love and you eat a bunch of food
Nothing wrong with that.
and then you take a nap. It's so great. It's the best.
Yeah. Yeah, you do take a nap because of food coma. You don't have a
Yeah.
choice.
Well, and you eat a bunch of turkey, right? And turkey has
Oh,
tryptophan in
yes,
it, which
it does.
increases your serotonin and your. So,
Hmm.
hint, you're here on Don't Worry Wednesday. If you deal with sadness or depression and stuff like that, turkey
Wow.
increases serotonin, which is the happy juice in your
Dang.
brain.
I think now's a good time for the disclaimer.
What?
The show disclaimer that we always do. We are not
Oh,
professional
we're not professionals.
doctors.
I have been a professional eater.
Hmm.
Actually,
Hmm.
no, I'm not. I've never been paid to eat.
You never been. Wait a minute. I've been paid to eat.
Really?
Yeah, I worked at a couple of restaurants, and they paid me to eat there on occasion.
Hmm.
Wait, I'm trying to gather if that's actually true or not.
Well, actually, to be fair, you're a musician and you make passive income, and
Yeah.
I'm part of BSS, and there's passive income there too. And it's like, okay, so
No matter what you do, you're getting paid.
right, you're getting paid nonstop,
Hmm.
right?
And
It's
we do have to
so
eat in order to live and pursue something. So we all get paid to eat if we
right.
have a job.
So I'm a professional eater. I'm a professional sleeper. Well, actually, I'm not very good at that. I'm a professional breather.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Breathologist,
breathologist.
aerologist. Eh,
Exactly.
wait, hold on. I know the word for breathe. What is it?
Breath.
I don't know. I can't think of the Greek word for breathe right now.
Greek? Would it be Greek or
Mhm.
Latin?
Well, if we're going ology, then that's Greek.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Does stealing a fry on a shift count as getting paid to eat?
I hope
Yes.
so. I hope
Yes.
so.
You are getting paid to eat. Oh, and in fact, oh yeah. So when I was a cook at a restaurant, I got paid to eat because you cook something for somebody, you got to test it. So you take a bite out of their burger before you send it. And so then, it's,
Yep.
yeah, you got to do that.
There we go. It's Numa.
Professional eater, professional eaters unite. Uh,
I'm not a pneumologist. Joe is a pneumologist.
Pneumologist.
Pneuma, whateverologist
Oh my.
means to breathe and
Pneumologist.
study breath. To
Okay.
study breath.
Yes.
Hmm.
So welcome to Don't Worry Wednesday, guys. Welcome to our Wednesday show where we talk about all the stuff that might be going on in your lives. The show is really all about you guys and your topics, the stuff that
Hmm.
you have questions about, you want to hear us talk about. Sometimes you want to stump us with something, which good luck. Ryan's really, really smart. So you're not going to stump the dude, right? Neonce, can I get an
Uh,
amen?
I can make stuff up and sound smart, but there are definitely things that stump me.
Whatever, you're smart. You,
You want to know what stumps me?
what?
The fact that we call Michigan the Midwest. That stumps me. That's so stupid.
See?
It's a different kind of
Neonsai
stump,
says
though.
so. Neonsai says so. Smart.
Okay, thank you, I'm saying.
Ryan Smart.
I'll take it.
SMRT.
SMRT.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. All right. So yeah. We do not currently have any topics in our queue right now. So send us some topics. You can actually right now is probably easiest if you have a topic to just send it in the chat. And we'll talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. You can send us a message on Discord. If you're most of you guys here are probably friends with us on Discord. We'd love to get your Discord messages. Or if you want, you can go to don'tworrywednesday.com, click the submit a topic button. That's don'tworrywednesday.com. Leave out the apostrophe between the N and the T. DONTWORRYWEDNESDAY.com.
Dang. I've never heard anyone spell it out audibly. Jeez.
It's so many letters, man.
WORRYWEDN. Okay, that's the hardest part.
WEDNESDAY. Yes. Wednesday is such a dumb word, man. Like when you look, it's like Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
Wednesday. Like, but that's okay. Whatever. Here we are. And so we are not professional counselors or therapists we're not professionals. But what we want to do is just, whatever you're going through, we want to, come alongside you. We want to help you know that you're loved and accepted. You're not alone in whatever it is that you're going through. So send us a topic and we'd be happy to talk about it. Saule just sent a random what's that called? DNS something. Oh, it's been retracted.
Oh, wow.
Happens. Okay. Yeah, that's all right. Yep. So there it is. There's the link right there in the chat. Thank you, Saul.
Thank you guys. Yeah.
https://www.don'tworrywednesday.com. Thank you.
We do have a topic in here right now,
we do,
which is great. But if you are submitting one currently, do not stop. Please continue.
Yes.
And if you thought to send us one, please do. We only have one here, so
yeah,
that's obviously more than. We'll get to more than that.
We can talk about stuff forever. Like we open up our mouths and it just like blobbery comes out for hours.
True. True.
How do we feel about the Twitter allegations? I have no idea what even the Twitter allegations
what they are.
You'll have to forgive me. I am not up on any news at all.
Yeah. I don't know anything about that.
I don't know about it, but so like if you want to expound on what those Twitter allegations are, I mean, I guess I can Google it. Maybe I'll Google.
I think that stumped us because we didn't.
Oh, we've been stumped.
Oh man, that was pretty good.
The Singers of It's Not I Like You broke up.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yuki, I thought maybe that's why you were here. So why you joined us today? Because I got a message from Senna saying, there were some Twitter allegations regarding me and Amory's marriage, and Yuki and I don't know who else it was. I can't remember right now. Yuki stepped in and was like, "Yo, no, this information is completely wrong." And they had to, like, literally, someone drew a chart of me and Amory's relationships that we had to explain it. And yeah, so we did not get married, me and Amory, at all. That
Well,
was never even in a single part of an equation.
you both
It,
got married.
yeah, we both got married to different people than each
Right.
other. Yes, that's right.
You've
I
never been
went
married to
to,
each other.
yeah, I went to her wedding. I was not the groom. I would know. I went there. I
I
wasn't the
went
groom.
I went to Ryan's wedding.
That's right.
Amory was not the groom
That's right.
or the
Well,
bride.
that's right.
I don't think she was
Yeah.
even there.
Yeah.
Or maybe she
Yeah.
was and I just didn't see her
No,
because
she wasn't.
I
She
was
wasn't.
busy taking care of my godchild.
Yeah. You were.
I was. And he's a handful, man.
Mhm.
That kid. Holy cow. He's crazy. I
They're
love it.
all a handful, but they all handle themselves somehow, I think, to some
Sadik is
degree.
both the groom and the bride. Nope. Static
Close.
was just
I'm
the
half of that.
groom.
With of Nyansai as the wife, not Amory.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. And I think you made a good choice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I am processing this, but yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
I
Oh
just
yeah,
wanted
you're
to
processing. Sorry. Let me
sidestep real quick and say something before I forget. This is a joke, Kiri, but you said earlier that you're half Asian, and so you celebrate uh the New Year and Moon Festival. I was thinking, since you're half Asian, you should celebrate the Half Moon Festival and the half year, half the New Year.
half Asian, half Cambodia, or is Cambodia part of Asia?
Cambodia?
Yeah, Ikiri's got half Asian, half Cambodian.
My geometry.
Geography.
Okay, I got it right the first time.
Yes.
My geographer is not very good. Cambodia sounds like it's in Asia, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. I don't know my geography
Yes, and
either.
eat half moon cakes.
Can I eat
Okay, sorry,
two
that was.
half moon cakes and then I can have a whole moon cake?
Are you half Asian?
No.
Then yeah. Didn't he say that one?
I don't. Is Cambodia part of Asia? I don't know.
I don't remember where
We've,
Cambodia is. I'm
dude,
so
look at this. You
sorry.
guys are stumping us over and over again, man.
Yeah,
We're so
geez,
stumped. And
Cambodia.
Nyansai, I have to address this. Yes, you're way better.
What?
Nyansai says, yes, I'm way better. And I say, I confirm that. I confirm that, chat, to be true. Yes, flip that hair, baby girl.
Whoa!
It's between Thailand and Vietnam. So
Oh, it is
I
then.
guess it is. Probably.
Yeah, Cambodia would be in Asia.
Yep.
Good.
Yes. Thanks for the confirmation.
Okay, so I think it is processed.
All right, cool. Well above the age of baby. Fine. How about Bubby Girl?
Bobby.
Actually, that's one of your other nephews. Is they call him Bubby.
Oh yeah. Which is okay, I guess that's fine. They can do
Bubs.
that. They can do whatever they want.
Bubbies. Yeah.
Bubs.
Anyway, so welcome, guys. We're glad you're here. We're glad to be with you, and yeah, we're glad to be able to do this show. So now we do have a topic. Apparently, the blueberry juice you made is awesome.
It's actually really good. It is
Blueberry
really good.
juice.
Mine is like disappearing faster than normal. It's very good.
Did we just get another topic?
Oh, maybe. I'll take a glance.
It looks like there's another topic in there now.
Yay! Great job, guys.
You guys are so great. Yes.
I can do this one. I can
So
process this
you're
one.
going to process that one too? Now we got 2 topics. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. We want to do your topics. Yeah, I'm 29. Actually, no, Saule, I'm no longer 29. I'm 173. Sometimes.
Some on occasion.
Sometimes I'm
Yeah.
264.
Is your
Sometimes I'm
birthday
5,392.5
0.5?
and a
Jeez.
half.
They do say that, you know, when you're a child, you count the halves like in all of those, but then you grow out of that. And
Yeah.
then later on in life, you grow back into it. When you reach like 100, you're like, I'm 100.5, you know, because you're proud to make it even half a year, you know?
But yeah, but
Okay,
well,
is your
but
age
with newborns, it's like weeks.
Yeah, true. He's
They're like,
3 weeks,
he's 3 weeks old.
7 weeks.
Yeah, he's 17
Hmm.
weeks old. He's 57 weeks old, which is a year and 5 weeks.
Mm. I think, yeah,
Are
that
you
makes
all
sense.
those people Trump said were still receiving Social Security well into their hundreds? Probably.
Wow.
I don't get Social Security. I don't think I'm gonna get Social Security, to be honest.
No, I don't. No Social Security here.
Not really counting on it, but whatever. It's just where we're at. That's all
I mean,
right.
I've got a Social Security number.
Yeah, me too. You kind of need that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody put your Social Security numbers in the chat. Just kidding. Don't do that.
Oh my gosh. We're
Don't
just like
do
now we're gonna
that.
be flagged. We're gonna be flagged by
That was a
YouTube.
joke. That was a
And
joke.
that was a joke.
I know.
Joe.
I know. I know. Sorry. I
Okay, both have been processed, by the way.
Nice. Good
So
job.
we're good to go.
Good job. Let me
Joke?
reload this
Yeah, it
chat.
is a joke.
Yes. All right. So, yeah. So, what do you say we jump into one of these topics? They're both anonymous.
Sure.
Why are they blue?
Yep. Because I said they're both here right now. I know I
Oh.
made probably a assumption there, but I'm guessing
All right.
they're here right now.
Hello, Kendra. Welcome. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
It is great to see you. It's great to see all of you. It's so
Yeah.
great to be here. Man, I love being here with you guys. You guys are so awesome.
Me too.
All right, here we go. Let's see. This first topic we're going to do is called Encourage Me to Think. Oh boy.
Okay.
You know, thinking is probably the hardest work you ever do.
True.
Like to really sit and think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's crazy because in this world of like distractions and all this stuff, you know, like everywhere,
Yeah.
you know, like when you actually spend time in silence without looking at your phone, without some device, without, you know, maybe you're just out in nature. Like when I went to the beach and it was just all I could hear were the waves and the wind. And I was all by myself, you know, there was nobody for like hundreds of feet.
Yeah. Hundreds of feet even. Can't do miles, no.
Hundreds of meters.
How is it that after feet, the next unit of measurement is literally miles?
No, it's not. There's
Oh, wait, no, we have
yards.
yards. We have yards. Never mind, we're fine.
And that's just
Forget
because
it.
we're American.
Yeah.
I have a whole bunch of beef with the American measurement system. I wish we would all just go metric, to be honest.
I have beef with the universal measurement, especially the everybody for temperature.
Yeah. Now,
It's
temperature, I believe we
wrong.
should be Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit.
No,
No?
I mean I get it. Fair, choose one, but either are wrong. Both of them are wrong
Why?
inherently.
What do we do? Kelvin?
Okay, well, Calvin would be better. It's still not on point, but it's better. Here's why. Here's why. Okay. So let's say you're at, you know, 32 degrees Celsius, all right? Okay, well, okay, we'll do 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. Do 32 degrees Fahrenheit, all right?
Mm-hmm.
What's twice as hot as 32 degrees?
You would think 64, but it's not.
Right. It's not as no, it's exactly. That's a fundamental flaw. You can measure distance. What's twice this distance? What's half this distance? You can do that. But if you go to, and you can do that in decibels. We've got that measured out in decibels. We've got that measured out in light. We've got
Decibels.
luck or lumen. Yeah, they go on a the graph is a
It's not a straight
it's
scale
not
because
straight.
a
It's
decibel is
a
twice as much as what it was before, right?
right,
Twice as loud.
exactly. It's a
That's
parabola,
another.
exponential. It's an exponential.
Yeah.
But you can at least do math with it and figure out what is twice the volume. You know, what is going to sound twice as loud, etc. We can actually do the math there.
Mm-hmm.
But temperature, there's no way to do the math on that because we decided to go, oh, this is the melting point of water and here's the boiling point of water, instead of going like this is the actual heat energy output, and then we're going to double that and see what that is. And, you know, like there's nothing being measured there. So that's my beef. That's my beef with temperature.
They just had a thermometer and they drew lines on it and they're like, look, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. That's what it is. Yeah, honestly. And one of them was like, yeah, 0 is the water freezing, and the other one was like, no, 32,
Yep, that's
because
right.
our water doesn't have salt in it, yours does. And then,
Was that the reason?
yeah, I think that's the reason. One of them was using water that was contaminated. And one of them was using pure water, and they freeze
Oh.
at different temperatures.
I see.
Something like that.
Just use
Yeah, someone can look that
Planck's.
up
Just use Planck's units. What is a Planck unit?
Whoa,
What is a
tell me
Planck's
more.
unit? I don't know what Planck's units are. You sound like an engineer.
Log scale. Yeah. The United States is metric. We use metric in the U.S. customers. Yeah, we use
Metric
metric in a lot of,
inches?
yeah, we do use metric here and there. Whenever you like, there's actually a lot of metric that we use, but we just don't use it in our day-to-day speech or like when we go to, I don't know, like gallons and stuff.
Dude,
But
seriously? I build cabinets. You know how much
mhm,
easier it would be to measure in millimeters instead of
that
like
would be nice.
16ths of an inch?
Yeah, millimeters are nice.
Be
I
so
like
much
that
better.
system better
Be so much
for
better.
cabinet making. Hmm.
But that's okay. All right. So, all right. Encourage me
Anyways,
to think. Encourage me to think. We've gone way off
yeah,
in the
so sorry
weeds,
about
man.
that.
It's crazy. All right, cool.
So
So here we
sorry.
go. This topic is from Anonymous. It's called Encourage Me to Think. I'm going to put it up on the screen for you. So then you guys can read along. Oh, wait. Here we go. Fahrenheit uses freezing temperature
Ah,
of seawater, average temperature of a person with a fever. The average temperature of a person with a
yeah,
fever. Well, I'm
there you
probably
go.
boiling water. Boiling water is 212, right? But anyway, all right.
Yeah,
Encourage me
that's
to
right,
think.
Tyler.
Encourage me to think. And this is from Anonymous. I'm going to put it on the screen so you guys can read it along while I read it out loud. So here it is. How can I encourage myself to think more? Don't say silence because I know that's part of the answer. I mostly live on autopilot, wanting to actually use my brain, if it's actually even there. And that's from Anonymous. Anonymous, thank you for the topic. And I already said, but you said don't say silence because I know that's part of the answer, and I said silence. I already talked about silence.
Perfect. You got it out of the way. Applause. Thank you for the applause. We finally did a topic. Only 30
Yay!
minutes in. 26.
Yay! We did good. All right, cool. So yeah, so Anonymous, thank you so much for the topic. How to get you to think more.
Mhm.
Encourage me to think. Thinking's difficult. It's not easy. And, there is a line you can cross where you think too much. I do that all the time. I overthink things so much, and I spend so much time in my head pondering and ruminating and do all this stuff, and I cause all kind of psychoanalytical problems for myself. It's nuts. And so sometimes you have to be present in the moment too. But I don't know how to get you to think more. Saule says, clearly your brain is there. You thought enough to come up with this topic. Yes, and your brain is also doing like commanding all of those processes that your body's doing, like breathing. You don't even think about, your heart beating anytime you want to pick up your arm. All that stuff. Your brain is definitely there and at work. But okay, but then thinking, sometimes you got to think through things, but there's, like I said, there's a fine line, and you don't want to do it too much or else you can drive yourself crazy. But sometimes I've been in that stage where I feel like I'm on autopilot. Sometimes I'm just on autopilot because I'm thinking too much. Like I'm just doing stuff, I'm working, I'm doing whatever, and I'm not even really present because my brain is thinking about all kinds of other stuff, And so there the problem isn't thinking, there the problem is, okay, I need to be more present in the moment, right? But then sometimes it's appropriate to sit and think and, think through issues, to plan, to dream, to, dream of what your future might be, to, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Ask questions. Oh, this is good. Saule says, ask questions, look at things and say, how does that work? Or better yet, how could that work? Yeah. Uh-huh. Before you know it, you'll have that ability. You're right, Akiri. So I'm going to turn this over to Ryan, and we're going to see what he has to say. So, Ryan, take it away, my friend.
Sure. I'll give it my best.
I'm sure you will. And it'll be real good.
Yeah.
I promise.
Well, hopefully. Well, you can
I promise for you. I know it's going to be good because I know you.
Okay, well then.
It's going to be good.
We'll
right?
see how well you know me.
Yancey knows too.
All right. Jeez. A lot of pressure here. All right.
The pressure's on.
Yeah, I can feel it. How can you encourage yourself to think more? That's a great question. I mean, obviously you start with what you're doing right now, which is asking this topic. How can you encourage yourself to think more? I mean, that's first phase of moving forward. I think something that I have found useful is to, there's a lot of different ways you can do this, but in your own setting, however you want. But if you make a game plan, that can go a far way. That can go a long way. Mm-hmm. And so in order to make a game plan, you need the ability to remember the game plan and actually make a game plan that goes step by step. And so a lot of people might use paper. So they think on paper. They think as they write. Because when you write down stuff, you're putting information down, and that automatically compels you forward to the next part of the information that needs to go down. And then that you have a line here, and it's pointing to a direction in your brain to say what comes after this, and you go, oh, then this. And then now you have that next line down, and your brain automatically is thinking forwardly, right? So I think there's a lot of people who, in order to think in a, organized manner, in order to think in an organized way, it helps them to have some actions as a part of their thinking process. So that's if you're having if you're having struggles thinking. If you can't necessarily just be silent, I know that you said it's part of the process, you understand that, but what I'm trying to say is, like, if you can't already take a moment, be silent, and have a long forward moving experience where you start from one point and through a process of thoughts end up at another point feeling like you've made progress, right? So progressive thinking that's got some structure to it. If that's not something you feel like you can do very well, what I would suggest is write. You can journal, you can type on the keyboard. Um, I would encourage you to stay away from things like AI because AI is just going to generate stuff for you, and that's not going to be helpful because you're not actually having the thoughts. You want to encourage your thinking, not encourage forward movement. Forward movement's great, but it's pointless if you can't think. Because, I mean, you want to be able to have control of the progression, not give it up, not give your freedom away, or, and part of freedom is having the ability to do something. And if you don't have the ability to do something, you're not free to do it. So having the ability to think better is really great. So I think that this is an amazing question to ask. So journaling and writing down, I think, helps a lot of people I know. And then, and if that might not be your jam, I'm sure there are other things you can come up with that maybe you've done in the past that help you think in a progressive manner. So how do you encourage yourself to think more, though? Because this is a skill you want to get better at and not live on autopilot, right? I would say journaling is really smart. If you can make it a habit of journaling just before you go to bed or at some point in the day, I think that's harder. Maybe once you get into bed, keep a journal next to your bed, like on your bedstand, or literally put the journal on your bed. And then when you get in your bed, you'll open it up and start journaling. And like, what is journaling? I've never really done too much of it myself. So it's weird for me to suggest it, but there's a lot of people who do it and they find it very fruitful. And it would encourage your thoughts, your thinking, because it puts you in a position where you have to think to figure out what to write down. And so a lot of people journal about their day. They'll write down what happened during their day. You're thinking while you're doing that. You're coming up with thoughts and putting them down. And you're thinking about how you're going to put them down. Are you going to put them down in a way that sounds pretty? Or are you just going to put them down as they come to you? Or are you going to put them down in a chronological order? You're thinking about these things as you're journaling. So you're also thinking, what is there to gather from today? Was there anything useful out of it? So I know someone who did, they have a theme for their journal. This person is no longer with us. They passed, but before they passed, they had a journal, and it was something like roses and thorns. And every day they would write down what their thorn was. And they would also write down what the rose was that was attached, that thorn was attached to. So that means the idea behind their journal was they were going to point out the pains in life, the things that pricked them, but also to find out and to resolve out of that, what is the good? What is the ultimate good that prick, that thorn, that pain is pointing to that's good? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
So
I will
if you
validate
have a
that
journal
statement.
like that, thank you. Yeah, awesome. So if you have a journal that makes you think about that, it's like, what kind of pain did I experience today? And then you write that down, it's pretty easy to remember that because pains are usually a little bit more memorable than a lot of other things that are going on in our life, especially if we're on autopilot. So if you have a painful experience, write that down and then infer, think, figure out what is the rose? What is the rose that thorn is attached to? Because that thorn is it's just a painful experience on a stem that ultimately leads to a rose that's budding and beautiful. So what is the beautiful nature that pain is ultimately pointing towards and protecting even perchance? So you can have a rose and thorn journal, right? And that's a great idea. And if you don't like that, you can come up with something like similar that makes you think. But that's something that will make you think because at the end of every day, you're going to have to figure out what is it, that pained me. And that might be easy to think about, but then trying to think about it hard and go, what is this pointing to? What are the goods in my life that this thorn is just a natural part of, or is something I should dig into to figure out? These are thoughts that require some deep thinking. So I think that would encourage you to write more or to think more. Sorry. I would encourage you to think more as you partake in that sort of self-dialogue through journaling. Um, and if you can do that, I think that would make a ton of headway for you. And then I also believe that um, if you did that for a time, you could start to figure out a similar way you do it without writing. So you might have to game plan about that, but ultimately, if your plan is to be able to step away and think at any given moment, or even think while in the moment um, of anything, you're doing XYZ or anything, it's like you're doing the dishes. Are you thinking or are you just mind blank, right? Well, you could choose to think. What can you think about? And then you'll think about what you're working on, um, what you're wondering about in life. You can think about all sorts of different stuff, but um, you can always use that power for good. And so I would say, I think the next step after journaling would be getting yourself to find a system that will teach you how to think outside of the journal, but so everywhere at any time. And that could be obviously incredibly useful. I mean, if you're doing something like doom scrolling, for example, having the thought of self-recognition that you're doom scrolling and going, you know what? Let me think about this. This is not useful. I'm wasting time, and there are things I'd rather be doing than this, actually. And then you'll close the page, right? Having those thoughts can be really helpful, especially to take you out of autopilot, or at least guide you into an autopilot that's better for you or healthier, whatever, right? So thinking should be something that becomes a daily part of your life to at least um, get you a better life, right? Um, so I would say if you are at the journaling stage, do that. If you're beyond the journaling stage already, and you're just thinking like, what can I do without journaling that will make you think more? I would say get involved in learning something, and maybe it should be something like um, I don't know. I don't know anything that you could get interested in. I mean, there's so many things you could get interested in, but things that require you to think, I suppose. That'd be good. I don't really have a good example right now, but um, I guess for me it would be something like if I was working on a song, I can think while I'm not physically producing the song, I can think about the song I want to make, the aspects of it, how the bass line should go, how the drums should go, what the melody would be like. I can think about those things and figure them out before I even get to any software or instrument or anything to start chugging away. I can think about those things and actively come up with a whole song in my head over time. And I might be thinking about like, well, what can I do to make this song set apart from other songs in the genre or whatever, right? I can think those thoughts. So I would encourage you to get yourself involved in a project that you can think about how to move forward on while you're not actively doing the physical things that it takes to make the project come to its end, if that makes sense. Um, and those are the types of things that would probably help encourage you to think more. Those are activities that will force you to think more and therefore encourage you to think more and therefore ultimately end up with creating habits that will be you thinking more.
Hmm.
That's the best I got on this. Um, and I hope that that is useful. I sincerely hope that's useful. Maybe you're already doing all those things. I don't know, but I hope that that's useful. And with that, I'm gonna give it over to Joe and see where he can take it.
See where I can take it? I don't know where I can take
Mm-hmm.
it. That was some good stuff. I can second a lot of the things you said, Ryan. Thank you for that. Especially the thing about journaling. I am what you might call an avid journaler. I've been journaling now for, oh my gosh, regularly journaling now for a long time. I have a stack of journals, right, that are all
Hmm.
full, and I buy them in bulk because I know I'm going to use them, right? And actually, currently, I have three different color journals. I have a black one, a blue one, and a gray one, and one of them's for like in the morning. One of them's for if I'm doing some kind of work, like I'm like a therapy kind of journal or whatever. And so like I'll write through like if I have some kind of psychological process that I'm working through, I'll journal about that because a lot of times, whatever I'm doing, I'll get exercises from either if it's I'm working through an app or if I'm working with a counselor or whatever, they'll give me things to think about, things to talk, things to try and figure out, things to write about. And so that's kind of the blue one is for that. And then my gray one is for at night. And that's like where I write stuff down before I go to bed. And that's, I'm not suggesting that you do that much, right? And I didn't do it. I don't write in all three of them all every day. But I kind of just have them categorized so I kind of keep things organized a little bit, right? And then yeah, it's crazy. So we got I also like what Mianglio said here in the chat. As far as getting out of autopilot, I feel like it could be beneficial to do something out of your day to day. If being on autopilot refers to having a routine or something like that, is absolutely a great thing, and especially um, because routines, while they're important to have, they can also cause us to go into autopilot mode where it's just like, okay, this is just what I do every day. I have these habits, excuse me, and it's just kind of what I do. So I, I don't know. I challenge you, Anonymous. Maybe I wonder if you're not thinking or if it's just maybe you don't think you're thinking of anything productive. Because a lot of times we think about things, they drive us into I don't know, maybe I'm just an overthinker and so I'm thinking all the time, and my challenge is not that I need to think more, it's that I need to think of better things, right? Like I need to think of more productive things and,
Mm-hmm.
shift my focus to, being present in the moment and also of dreams for the future, um, those are really important to have in order to continue us moving forward. Um, One of the things is, I could rail about our education system for a long time, but I feel like education teaches us to not think because it teaches us to memorize and regurgitate facts, you know, and some of that knowledge we do retain and we use, like uh if you get a degree in something, say I see Saule here, and so I think engineering, right? And so there's a lot of different information that goes into getting that education that Saule, I'm sure you use at your profession, and it's beneficial for you, right? However, I feel like in my experience, this may not have been everybody's experience, but when I went to school, it was almost like I was discouraged from thinking for myself.
Yeah,
And I
there's
was
no logic or reasoning class.
right.
We are never taught to how to think, never taught how to reason or
Mhm.
come to a conclusion from a few facts. Like, hey, here are the things you know. How do you come to the conclusion of this?
Mhm.
Instead, it's all like memorize this
Memorize
answer.
this and get a test,
Yeah,
right? Or write a paper about it or
yeah,
something, right?
yeah. It was mostly my experience too, unfortunately.
Mhm. Yep. And so then we kind of learn to not think for ourselves. And so then we get out of that habit. So but yeah, but I like that. Get out of your normal routine. Do something different. Experience something different. And then you will have a whole bunch of new thoughts. Like try a new place to go
Mm.
for a walk. Try a new place to go to eat, you know, go see a movie, whatever it is. And so then that might give you a whole bunch of different things to think about And then, like in my case, it was more like, how do I guide my thoughts into a positive direction, into something that's going to be fruitful and beneficial, right? Rather than just my brain whirring and going wherever it goes, and then eventually always goes into some kind of crummy, bad area, right? And then my brain gets stuck there, and I'm ruminating on it. And it's just garbage, and then my whole day is just wrecked, or whatever, right? But Neon, I have a hard time believing that you're a blank-minded person.
I I have thoughts on that as well. I think that she's always thinking. She just doesn't speak to herself in her head.
I see. Okay.
And so
Yes.
it doesn't come out as communicative or progressive thinking. It's just, the kind of functions that are like, uh, do this, do that,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, and not necessarily, okay, so what if I did this, and then what would the result be? She does that less often because she doesn't have those words happening in her head. But
Mm,
she still does think those things. It's just, yeah.
sure.
I'm sure it feels empty or blank inside because there's no conversation going on. It's just pure thought in a way.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah, without the dialogue.
Right. Um, maybe I used to have things going on in there, but my brain probably fell out on the ride of life at some point.
I'm
I don't know. You seem like a pretty smart and with it person to me. So,
very
um,
thoughtful too.
yes, yes, absolutely. And Saule has another thing. When Joe mentioned read books, I literally just ordered 3 textbooks on optical science and engineering for a self study. Hard to read them without thinking. That's absolutely true. And it doesn't have to be educational materials, it can be a novel. And that will get you thinking about different things, right? Um, Meet with people and have conversations, and talk. And like sometimes that can awaken parts of our brain that, you know, we want to expand. But I would really encourage you. Here's another thing that I would encourage you to do that may seem counterintuitive, but that's meditate. And that is the act of emptying your brain
Okay.
and not thinking about anything, right? A lot of times, so when I've learned different meditation techniques, they say, okay, focus on your breathing. So sit comfortably, close your eyes, and think about, just focus on your breathing. And, think, how does it feel? How does your breath feel? Are you controlled? Like, how controlled, how deeply are you breathing? These kinds of different things. And if a thought comes into your head, you don't get all upset because, you're trying to empty your brain. You just say, thank you, you're dismissed, and dismiss the thought and go back to being focused on your breathing. And as you do that, you don't stay there for very long. I don't think, like, I try not to stay in the emptiness area for too long, because I know that once I'm in a meditative state, that's a very, very good time for me to communicate with my subconscious mind. And then I can start planting dreams. I can start planting, ways on how I want to do things. I can start planting things of how I want to be, how I want to improve myself. Those kinds of things can be really beneficial. But it starts with emptying my brain, because most of the time when we think we're not thinking, we actually are. We're thinking about, like Ryan talked about, doom scrolling. We're thinking about what we were entertaining ourselves with. Whether it's gaming or doom scrolling or watching a show or whatever, and there's a time for that. There's, entertainment is important. I think, it's important to have fun. It's important to kind of shut off our go, go, go brain and just relax and, be entertained. And we are so fortunate that we have so many choices for entertainment.
Yeah, we do.
We really do.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah,
more
that's
we do
incredible.
it, the more we entertain ourselves, The more we just fill our heads and we then have no control over our thinking. And so I'm wondering if the issue isn't that you're not thinking, it's just that you feel like your thoughts are out of control, that you're not controlling your thinking. They're just thinking about all these random things that we're taking in on a regular basis, right? And that can totally be the case. Um, but so maybe ask yourself that question, because maybe it's just, I don't know. I always have to start with emptying my brain and making it blank. And then I have a
Mm.
baseline
Yeah,
for where to
like a blank
build from.
slate.
Yep. I have to erase my brain and get to where it's nothing, and then I'm just existing. I'm simply existing. And then I can be comfortable just existing with no thoughts going in my head. I'm dismissing them if they come in. I'm thinking about my breathing only, and then I'm just there without thoughts in my head. And from there, now I can start to choose what I'm thinking of. And I can start to focus on, you know, I try to be intentional about it, where it's like, all right, what do I want to move toward in my life? And those are things I can meditate on. Another thing you can do is pray. Um, that helps us think. Um, but yeah, journaling, meditating, doing new things, reading, these are things that will all help awaken different things in our brains that can help us and actually be beneficial to moving our lives forward. And they can, but thinking, to control your thinking and to guide your own thinking, that is a very, very difficult thing to do. And a lot of people don't do it. And so I applaud you, Anonymous, for asking this question. Um, and so if anything that we said here kind of sparks something and you're like, oh, I don't do that. I don't do that. And maybe try them out. Try some of these things out. Try getting yourself a notebook and writing down the stuff that happened in your day. That gets your brain moving in a direction of, okay, this is what happened today. This is how I felt about it. This is, maybe the roses and thorns idea that Ryan was talking about. That's great, because then you can think about the things that were painful, but then what's the good that can come from that pain, right? And these are all things that can help move your thought process in a more productive and beneficial direction and moving your life forward. And so maybe you won't feel so stuck in autopilot mode, because I've been there, man. We kind of get to that point. Especially if we get a job that we do every day, and you just get in that mode where you're doing your job, you're coming home, you're eating, and you're watching some TV, or you're watching some YouTube, or or playing some games or whatever, and you get into this routine, and then all of a sudden you're just you're existing in this mode and not feeling like you're going anywhere. But as you think and as you dream and as you create in your mind, you really can start to develop a really, really awesome life for yourself. Um, we've got more stuff in the chat.
That's good to
Maglios
know.
says, this semester at university, I'm actually taking a class about meditation and stuff called The Art of Mindful Living. That's awesome. I like Ryan here that says that's quite interesting. Wonder what that class is like. Um, I'd be curious to go sit in on that class and see what kinds of things they're teaching. I think that'd be really, really cool. Wix says another idea is to pick a random skill and then try to get good at that, like origami or crochet or something, because those all force you to use your brain, especially when you're just starting.
Mm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Origami's great. I
I
only
want to be, I would, the problem with origami for me is like, I would want to be someone who can create new origami that hasn't been made before. And
mm,
I think that's like understanding folds and understanding like where that's going to go and being able to calculate that with in your head a blank sheet of paper,
Mm-hmm.
fold here, split that, fold, and then you do that, and you're like, that would, and then that's how I'd create a turtle, and then you
Mm-hmm.
go and do it. Like that would be awesome.
Yeah. I
You'd have
like that
to
idea
learn.
too. I like that idea
You'd have to
too.
learn a lot to get there.
Yep. Origami is really cool. I always just make flowers, roses.
Mm,
I make these origami roses that take a long time, and but they're fun to make. Um,
mhm.
I remember for a long time, like when I was going through my divorce and all that kind of stuff. That's when I picked up the bass guitar and I started
Mm,
learning how to play the bass because I
yeah.
needed some kind of an outlet, or else I was going to drive myself crazy in that state. It was just nuts, man. Um, more origami tutorials on the channel soon. Yes, as long as they involve
Oh my
shampoo.
gosh. Yes, shampoo. Key ingredient to all origami.
Yes. Oh, bass is the best instrument. You sound like my son.
Mm. Bass is a pretty good instrument. It
It's a
drags
great
you.
instrument. I don't think it's better than drums, but it's a great instrument. I'll tell you
Mm.
that. Okay, Wix. My suggestion is to learn a lot of models and then try to reverse engineer them if you want to learn to make your own, or make variations on other people's designs until there's something new. There you go, Ryan.
Yeah.
Uh huh. You want to make a bass sitar?
Aha.
I want to see that thing,
Yeah.
and I want to hear it. It'd sound interesting.
Yeah, it would.
A sitar, but bass.
And then put bass. Wow. Wow.
I wonder if it would sound like a didgeridoo with notes.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
It
But
does
with
sound.
notes.
It sounds pretty epic. Yes,
Amazing.
it does. But yeah, those are things like if you can find something that interests you and then get into it, you'll find yourself, learning some fun stuff. And yeah, learning is really, really fun, guys. That's another issue I have with our education system is they kind of make us feel like learning is sucks.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know,
That's my experience as well.
you hate learning. See,
Yeah.
see, that's what I'm talking about. But learning is great. Learning does not sucks. Just like stoicism, it doesn't suck. We're gonna fight. Yeah, you're learning every single day. See? Oh, you shake your fist at it. All right, well, fine. There we go. Learning is fun. Knowing stuff is fun. Yes. Yep. It is. And it's definitely a way before you know it, you'll just be thinking you don't even realize it. And I would posit that maybe that's what's going on here too, is that you actually are thinking. It's just random and or it's habitual and
Yeah,
it's
not
not
controlled,
focused.
maybe.
It's not it
Yeah,
so
sure. Hmm.
you're thinking
Thinking
grr.
grr.
All right.
Grr.
Well, next time I see you, you better put up your dukes.
I'm gonna teach you.
All right. Uh so anonymous, hopefully some of that's helpful for you. Hopefully that we struck something that can help move you forward in this way. But try out some of those suggestions and see if something fits. Learn something new, do some meditating, read, journal. These are all things that can kind of kickstart your brain and help things move in a productive and good direction. So, Ryan, did you have anything else about this topic? Excuse me.
I've got nothing else.
Got nothing else. I got no more thoughts. I've
Yeah.
done. I've done my thinking.
We did well. I hope. I
Yeah,
guess that's up to the anonymous poster. Yeah.
yeah. So, anonymous, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the topic, and I'd like to see that. You know, let us know. Let us know how things are going. If you try something like that and you feel like reaching out, letting us know how they went. we'd be happy to hear from you. And yeah, and don't hesitate to send another topic. We would love to talk about whatever it is. Um, and yeah, but that is interesting because it took thinking to come up with the topic of thinking,
That's true. It did.
right? So,
Sure did.
or, hey, or here's another thing: learn a new language. Get on Duolingo and find a language. You'll find out
Yeah.
that it's weird.
They're all weird.
They're all weird.
Mm-hmm.
And if you speak English, if English is your primary language, you find out that English is generally the problem.
Mm. Because we're the ones that are the weirdest. I guess
Yeah, well, it's I don't
some
know.
degree we put things in a weird order, but not every language puts, yeah. The ordering is different in every almost in a lot of languages they're different.
It is. You're right about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Well,
anyway,
English really isn't the problem. It's French that's the problem.
oh yes,
Because French is the one that went in and screwed up
Französisch.
English.
Yeah.
If the English would still be a mess, but it'd be less of a mess if it wasn't for the French. I'll say that. And I'm not dissing on the French. You guys' language is fine. But it was when we decided that we wanted French in our language that it went bad.
Yep.
It went bad. That's what happened.
Yes. No, French is a fine language. I took French.
French works.
Mm-hmm.
Just doesn't work in English. But it works in French.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Mhm.
That's cool. So anyway, thank you again, Anonymous. Thank you so much for the topic,
Yeah.
and we're
Give it.
glad to hear from you, and hopefully hopefully some of this works for you. So thank you. Yeah, wow, we did it.
Great job,
We
guys.
did a topic.
Everyone, yeah, everyone in the comments did a great job as well. So
Mm-hmm. Yep. Chat, you
fantastic.
guys are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for all of your input. Keep it coming as we go, as we
Mm-hmm.
keep moving on through these topics. Love hearing what you guys have to say. So yes, keep it going. And again,
Mm-hmm. Thank you,
so
thank you.
Saule put these put in the chat there. If you want to send us a topic, you can type it out in the chat or on our website, www.don'tworrywednesday.com. Thank you. In all
Please and
capital
thank
letters.
you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Smiley
Thank
face.
you. But all right, so let's move on to the next one, shall we?
Yes, please.
All right,
Let's do it.
let's go. I'm gonna just check just to be sure. Do we have any more? No, we don't have any more topics, guys. This is the last one.
Uh-oh.
That's okay. I bet you this one will last for the rest of the show. But yeah. So
We'll
this
see.
also is from Anonymous. I don't know if it's the same Anonymous. Might be a different anonymous person.
It could be the same anonymous, and it could be a different one.
It could. We don't know
Yeah,
for sure.
both of these anonymouses chose to use the submitted name Anon. So,
Oh.
mm.
All right. So maybe it is.
So maybe it is, but maybe it isn't.
Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. We're gonna see how it's written, and we're gonna
Okay.
dissect it, and we're gonna
Wow.
see if. I'm just kidding. We're not gonna do that. No, but this one is titled "Famous," and it also comes from Anonymous. Maybe the same, maybe different Anonymous.
Mhm.
So
Doesn't matter either way.
I will put it up on the screen, and you guys can read along with me. So, again, this is called Famous, and it's from Anonymous. Is it stupid for someone to want to be famous? Like wanting to be a famous pop star? Is that something everyone kind of wants? Serious question. From Anonymous. That is a
I
great
dissected that.
question. You
Oh, I know
dissected
who
it.
did that. I know. Yeah, it was Danny DeVito.
Danny
Danny
DeVito.
DeVito.
Of course
Sorry,
it
okay.
was.
Yeah,
Well,
that
good.
guy.
Now that we got that figured out,
Hmm.
good.
Whoops, I figured out who it was. Danny
Danny
DeVito.
DeVito. All right. Is it
Mm.
stupid for someone to want to be famous, like wanting to be a famous pop star? Is that something everyone kind of wants? I don't know. Maybe it is. I think we all get we all kind of have that this idea of how cool it would be to be a star, how cool it would be to be, up in front of people. I also know people who that is their biggest nightmare. They don't want to have that at all. Right? So I don't think it's something that everyone kind of wants. Maybe everybody kind of goes through a time when they think it might be cool to be that. But I think it's pretty common for people to want to be recognized. You know, fame can be a double-edged sword. When you're well known, you can't really hide. I like my anonymity when I go somewhere where nobody knows me and nobody cares. It's just like whatever. Here I am. I keep to myself. You keep to yourself. We have a great relationship because we both keep to ourselves. Um, but and I can see I'm not a famous person, so I don't really know what some very famous people go through getting, hounded by people all the time and having
Mhm.
paparazzi all around them all the time and just like everybody wanting their autograph all the time and stuff like that. I think it takes a great amount of grace and poise, and you probably have to be on your A game all the time when you're out in public or else,
Mhm.
your image might get tarnished by some tabloid or something like that,
Yeah, can't get caught eating, dipping your fries in ketchup or something,
I
that'll
know,
be all
man.
over.
Jeez. Crazy.
That's fair though.
you
I mean,
can't
no one should
go
be dipping their fries in ketchup
you
anyways.
can't go out and get your mail in your pajamas or else everybody's going to accuse you of being an alcoholic, you know?
Wow.
Like
Hmm. Wow, that went far. Okay.
I remember seeing this article where this guy,
Really?
yeah, they just had a picture of him going out to get the mail in his pajama pants and a t-shirt, and they're like, "Oh, he looks
Must
like
be an
he's
alcoholic.
probably hungover. I bet you. Oh my gosh, he's got this party lifestyle, and he's probably an alcoholic and this and that. And da 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 da." I'm just like, dude went out to get his mail in his pajamas. I do that, like,
Yeah, doing out to get his male pajamas. You took a picture and made up a story out of it. I mean,
yeah,
that's great on you, but that's not appropriate.
that's like, yeah, it's crazy.
Mhm.
But I don't know. So, I don't think it's stupid to want to be famous. I know I've wanted that. There have been plenty of times where I've thought it would be great to be well known and respected, whether it's in my industry or even globally or whatever, and to have influence, those are some things that have sounded appealing to me before, but also, like I said, I also like being able to walk down the street and not be hounded by people who know me, and just kind of have a little bit of peace and quiet, right? But I also like being by myself a lot anyway. Like I talked about the beach, last week, I think, and I prefer
Mhm.
beaches that are, where there's nobody.
Yeah,
I can just be by myself. That's my preferred
secluded.
mode. Yeah. But I also like the idea of being well known and respected. That I like that idea too. So I don't know. Ryan is definitely more famous than me, so he is a much more appropriate person to talk about this.
No, Joe,
So,
you're pretty famous in Spain.
just in bars.
Yeah.
But they don't know who I am.
No.
They just know one of my songs or two of my songs or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
right? So, like,
Yeah.
but all right, Ryan. So take it away.
All right,
It's
I'll do my
all
best.
yours. All right.
This is a fine question. Nothing wrong with this question. Is it stupid for someone to want to be famous? I guess the answer is it's not stupid, but it could be. It can lead to stupid actions or could lead to um thoughts that haven't been fully figured out. You go off of a desire without thinking it through. Anything can be stupid. It's like, I'm hungry for steak. Is that stupid? No, there's nothing wrong with being hungry for steak, but there are certain people who are so hungry for steak, they're willing to do things that are dumb, stupid, right? And there are people who are so hungry for steak that they're willing to damage their lives or others to get that steak, be it through theft or blackmail or shame or selling themselves or whatever, right? And that's obviously true for anything, as I said, for steak, but it's true for being famous. Is it stupid for wanting to be famous? The answer is no. People have desires and they want things, and sometimes you might think you want it and then come to look at it later in life and go, no, I didn't actually, I don't think I do want that. And that happens too. Um, I know someone who, even when I was in high school, he was in our band, he played the bass, and he ended up quitting. Um, and he basically he gave the reason. He said, I kind of just want to live life, being myself, and I've never wanted to be famous or anything. And I realized the end goal of this band would conflict with what I want out of life.
Mm,
I
that's very
don't, I
smart.
don't, yeah. He's like, I don't find any joy in pursuing um recognition from all these strangers, and I don't even think he was afraid of tabloids and getting paparazzied and so on. I think he just genuinely was like, I don't see the good in that. I don't see why anyone would want that. It was like how he felt about it. He's like, it's not my thing. It's just I see it's other people's things, not my thing. And I was like, okay, fair enough. So we let him quit. It's like, yeah, you're right. That would be the end of this, right? Is um, we're famous enough to make a living, off of making music. That's Yeah, you're gonna amount some amount of fame for that. I mean, generally speaking, at least in the normal confines of what we were trying to do. It's not like we were trying to be background musicians or something like that. So, um, anyways, I don't think it's necessarily what everybody wants, but there is a something to it. I think um, everybody wants something. Everybody, I mean, generally, maybe not everybody wants that something, but as a general rule, um, people have ideas about what would make them happy in life. And some people want others to praise them, and some people want others to notice them and recognize them and cheer them on, and so on and so forth. Is there anything wrong with wanting that? I don't think inherently there's something wrong with that. I think there would be, but I think it can get out of line, naturally, like anything. Um, if your if your emotional stability or how you feel about your success in life is reliant on others and whether you're famous or not, or whether they care about you or not, whatever, I think that can be a problem, right? That's putting your um, that's putting your attitude, that's putting your morals, that's putting everything into question on something you can't control, which is what other people think about you. You could be famous in a bad way too. So I guess for me personally, I've never wanted fame, never cared for it. Never been, never, I've never been inspired into action because I wanted fame. I know a lot of people who have been. And if they can use that as fuel, that's great. If they can do something good with their life and do something good for others with their life, and the idea of fame might compel them into that action, that's okay. That's good. I think humility is important, and fame a lot of times is about pride.
Mm,
Fame,
yes.
fame a lot of times is about boasting oneself above others, or even not necessarily above others, just boasting themselves beyond um, what they actually are, right? Having to um, You could see that. You could see a lot of pride out there for being famous people. A lot of famous people have intense pride, very intense pride. Um, and it's a lot of times their downfall. But just because you have a desire for something doesn't mean that you're inherently prideful or you can't be humble. I mean, um, I've even though I haven't necessarily wanted to be famous, I recognize I do want to have an impact on people's lives. And so therefore, influence is important. And if I can have more people notice me, I have a bigger chance of having a bigger impact on more lives. And so famousness ends up being part of the equation, but not a motivator. I'm not trying to say that you need to be like me. I'm just saying how what I've experienced. And so for me, it's like if I want to have an impact on a bunch of people's lives, if I want to change the world, right, then I have to encounter a lot of people. And I'm going to have to be the face of something that means something good. And people are going to be able to recognize me. And that's okay. That's okay. You know, it's part of the job. And that's cool. You know, so anyhow, to be wanting to be a famous pop star, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that a lot of us, I think there are a lot of people who do want that. I think people have a natural desire for things like that. And then also the media pushes that onto us as well. You see these pop stars in their music videos, and their music videos, I mean, a lot of them highlight very poor behavior, but
Yeah.
they're dressed, and they know how to dance really well, according to the choreography and video that you're watching. It looks like they know how to dance, and they have all these people flaunting over them and going, "Oh my gosh, blah 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 is coming to our town, and I can't wait to see them." And you get people excited about this one person. People rally behind this one person. Um, I think that it's more important. Like there are things that are more important than fame, and I think everyone would acknowledge that. I think fame should be a stepping stool as opposed to the end game. I think fame is if you desire fame and you can use that desire to do something good, then that's good. I would say just don't. The only caution I would say is don't let your desire for fame um, cloud your judgment or rule your life.
Yes.
Don't be a slave to fame. Don't be a slave to pride, right? Because fame a lot of times is a pride thing. And so I'd say if you can somehow manage to balance your want for fame with humility, and I would say fame isn't a virtue, but humility is. So humility is worth chasing before fame. It's more important skill to have than fame. Fame isn't a skill, it's just a result of something
Mm-hmm.
that you can't necessarily decide on because um, you don't get to decide whether you're famous or not. I mean, you can take action and things will happen, but in the end, no one might report on it ever, and you don't even get your 15 minutes of fame. You know what I mean? So, um, I'd say, yeah, um, if you pursue humility and um, you find that with fame you can do a lot of good for the world, then that's cool. That's good. Nothing wrong with that. But if your fame starts to trample on your humility, then that's a moment where you can recognize, okay, I need to dial it down a little bit. I need to reorganize what I desire more. Because you can do that. You might have to have a talk with yourself and think, okay, well, I think I need to reprioritize and recognize that fame isn't the end all be all of life. And there are many things that come before it that are important and beautiful. And I need to make sure those things are in line before, well, I need to make sure those things are all in line and order me on how I'm going to pursue fame, order me to what I will use fame for. And then you, then, yeah, then start again. Um, but I would say, um, I think a lot of people desire to be famous and a lot of famous and not for good reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I will kind of end with that. A lot of people want to be famous and not for good reasons. So I think the most important thing to do is ask yourself, is it just a selfish desire that will do no good for the world or for you other than just to make you feel good? Or is there more to it than just the feel goods? And if it's just the feel goods, yes, that's okay. You're not an evil person or a monster. You're just normal. um, and you're and that's a normal experience. And I would say you want to just like anybody, it's also normal to like candy and chocolates and sweets and things that aren't healthy for you to eat 24/7 and to pursue them at all costs, at the shame of yourself or in 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 indignant ways, in ways that lose your own dignity and so on, in ways that are not moral. You're not going to pursue those sweets, but it's normal to like sweets. It's normal to want them. It's normal to pursue them. You can say the same thing for fame.
Mm-hmm.
Just know that fame isn't the end all be all, just like sweets aren't the end all be all, right? And if you can kind of understand that thinking, it can kind of put you in line to recognize like this isn't a sin. It's just something that I want. And now let's like figure it out in here. Is it worth pursuing? Is it not worth pursuing? Is it gonna, you know, what's to come of it? What is the end of that, etc. So, um, yeah, like I said, that's going to be the end of what I've got. I hope that's helpful. I hope that that's sincerely helpful.
I sincerely hope that's sincerely helpful.
I sincerely, with all sincerity, hope that
Sincerely
sincere
helpful.
message was sincerely helpful.
Sincerely.
Yours, sincerely yours, Static P.
Static P
That yes,
with a hyphen.
P for that's a P for
That's
sincerely.
P for famous.
PSINCERILY. Sincerely.
Yeah.
Slaughtered, but correct.
Slaughtered. P for slaughtered
Slaughtered.
with the
Yes,
silent
slaughtered.
P.
Anyways, yeah, that's what I've got. And yeah. Joe, what have you got on this?
I don't know. I'm not famous like you.
Okay. You don't need to be to answer the question. anyone in the comments is free to comment too, whether you're famous or not. I'm not that famous.
Well,
Paparazzi has never been at my
Wix is saying
back.
some good stuff. Neonsai says, I've always kind of struggled to understand entertainers and their undying need to be seen. It's true because sometimes we have narcissistic tendencies that can awaken because we want to feel like we're important, or we feel like we're important and we need to be recognized or whatever.
Yeah.
You
I see
know?
that a lot. I see that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem
And
with that,
sometimes it's guised as legacy. People say, that's a strong one that. Yeah.
sure.
Anyways, go on.
Sure. No, you're totally fine. I keep reaching for my stream deck and remembering that it's not working, so I have to do things with the mouse.
Yeah.
Like, wait a second. So anyway, Anonymous, thank you so much. And hopefully Ryan, what the things that Ryan was saying is helpful to you. I know they're helpful to me. Wix says, going off the amazing things that Ryan is saying, try to find the specific desires behind the desire for fame, like recognition or friendship or legacy, then seek another way to achieve those. Honestly, a lot of those could be achieved, plus some more inner fulfillment and positivity for the world by dedicating some time to a community group or cause of some sort. And you're spot on, Wix. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
Thanks.
you kind of do have to figure out why. Why do I want to be famous? What's the reason?
Mm-hmm.
Because with
Mm-hmm.
fame comes a lot of things. I know by reading about, like reading the memoirs of people who were famous or whatever, rich people, famous people, all this kind of stuff, those things can be serious traps if you're not careful, right? To be
Yeah.
famous, we think, oh, I'll be free. I'll be freer if I'm famous. But you're actually not.
Mm.
You're a little bit more constricted because now you have this image you have to uphold. You have things that you have to do to maintain it. If your job is like being a pop star or a rock star, some of these guys, they get
Mm-hmm.
into this lifestyle where it's exhausting and they're relentlessly touring or whatever, and it's tiring and stressful, and they're being told what to do everywhere they go, and they have managers and labels telling them what to do. Like, I mean, Ryan can't get me off his back saying, hey, let's make a Christmas album, like
Oh man. It's great.
your label gets all up there, like whatever. um and Nyansai says, sometimes I believe all it is for some people is to look good on camera and have other people see you as looking good. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That can be it. I can just
Mm-hmm.
remember wanting accolades. I can remember wanting to feel like people admired me, like people thought
Mm.
well of me. I remember thinking that. And if I was good at this, then people will think I'm cool, or people will think, whatever, or I'll impress the people that I want to impress, whether it's my parents who told me I couldn't do it and so now I proved to them I could, or family members or
Mm.
whatever and stuff like that. And what you find out is people don't really care.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, you do
Yeah, it's
you,
like
right?
it's like a lot of famous people. How many of them are you thinking about constantly? It's like Katy Perry, you know that name.
Yeah.
Have you thought about her every waking moment of every
Oh
day
my
in the
gosh,
last
I obsess
20
about
years?
Katy. I obsessed
Oh
about Katy Perry.
my gosh.
I
And
kissed
then
a
there's a lot
girl
of
and I
other ones,
liked
so
it.
it's like, oh no. Now Joe's gonna be triggered.
No.
Anyways, I'm just saying, it's like, yeah, people don't like, you could be famous, but no one, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
not making a difference.
Right.
Or you could be famous and it's people don't care. They're
Mm-hmm.
just like, yeah,
Or sometimes it's a trap
not
to
a bad
have
idea.
people obsessed about you,
Hmm.
because then they're like trying to get a hold of you all the time, and they're trying to be.
Yeah, and then you got stalker problems,
You
and
get
that's really bad.
stalkers and whatnot. It can get crazy, right? And then you need to hire security. Well, you're providing jobs to people that are security, your security detail, like
Wow,
so.
I've never thought of that. That's
Yeah.
great.
But anyway, so like, yeah, so really dig into the underlying reason why. It is not
Mm.
stupid to want to be famous. It's not stupid to want to be a pop star. It's not stupid at all. People have done it. People do it. It's like, obviously people can do it because it's been done.
Hmm.
But the real question is exactly what Ryan said. Why? What's the motivator behind it? And if it's just looking good, then that's kind of empty. If it's just being famous as the end in and of itself, that's kind of empty. And most of the people say it's not what it's cracked up to be because of all those things. Like, you have constant attention, you end up with people obsessed about you, you end up having to have security people, you end up in all these situations that are stressful. They add more to your life than more to their lives than they bargained for, right? And it's the same with money. You can make a lot of money and be really, really rich, but then what? What's it for? Because if you're just really, really rich, that's, honestly, for a lot of people that are not disciplined or whatever, they come into a lot of money. That's a really good way to get into a lot of bad habits, drugs, alcohol.
And
all
I'm getting
kinds of
into a
stuff,
lot of debt.
and a lot of debt. Yes,
Hmm.
I love money. Buys me a lot of Marus. Yes, Maru sushi.
Hmm.
Yep. But yeah, like so. But it can be empty. Like even when you're
Hmm.
there, you feel lonely. So what's the point? But like Ryan said, there are some really good things that can come with fame. You can have some influence. You can have an impact on a lot of people's lives. But that means you also have to be careful with the things you say.
Yeah, everything you do starts to potentially have an impact on people's lives, and that's
Yep.
dangerous.
It
If
can be
you
dangerous
don't
if you
wield that sword well, you will hurt your own people and yourself.
mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
So what would you do with that level of fame? What would you do with that level of influence? What would you do with people paying attention to you constantly like that? Right?
Hmm.
And would you be able to deal with the critics? Because that's going to come too.
Yep.
Being famous isn't everybody liking you. It's maybe a portion of those people liking you and then another portion of those people hating you.
Hmm.
Right?
And your haters making you famous
Yeah.
for things you don't want to be famous about.
Yeah, it's true. Like going out and getting the mail in your pajamas.
Yeah, that's right.
You know? I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Um, but I do remember when I was in high school. I've told this story a bunch of times on this show where I went to my high school guidance counselor. And he asked me what I wanted to do with my life, and I told him I wanted to be a rock star because I thought he wanted me to be honest. I didn't
Hmm.
know he wanted me to lie, and and he laughed at me. He thought it was funny. I was like, no, I'm serious. And so then he pushed me into a college program, a music program in a college, which was not going to make me a rock star ever. Right? That's not the path. But then, but then I started gigging a lot. I started playing, bar circuits and all that kind of stuff. And I started going around and playing. And you get a little bit of fame, just local fame. I never had
Hmm.
grand fame, on a national level, but, just locally, I was getting to be fairly well known in these places I was playing. And what's the point of that? So people can tell me I did a good job. So people can tell me I'm a good drummer. Here's the problem. Being a drummer, I learned this playing in bars, all over the place, that the best compliment a drummer can get is no compliment whatsoever.
It's everybody out on the dance floor,
Yep. When
but
you
no
when
one.
you succeed
Yeah.
as a drummer, the dance floor is full, everybody's having a good time, and nobody says anything about your drumming. That means you did a good job. Because
Hmm.
everybody's out there and you did your job carrying the beat, you played well, and people had a great time. And I've seen so many things. I played for a while. It was all biker bars, man. Bikers are great people. They are so nice. They have this real tough looking exterior, right? But a lot of them are really really nice. They're really cool. You know, but they also party pretty hard. And they're a little bit wild. Saw a lot of topless bikers.
All men, all men, for the sake of the show, they were
Yeah,
men.
right. Exactly right. um, and but there's crazy things. I remember I played in a band with another band that I played in, when I was younger. The other guitarist, I played guitar in this band and sang lead vocals. And the lead guitarist in this band, he was doing it for the chicks. He just wanted to have women. And to some degree, he succeeded. I mean, now he's married and he's got like 2 kids, but he still plays. He's not in it for
That's
the
the
women
ultimate success.
anymore. What's that?
That's an actual success story.
Yeah, right.
It
Hey,
didn't go the way he wanted it, but that's a success
right,
story.
exactly. Yeah. Hey,
Hey,
Marhandi, how's it
Marty.
going? Good to see you. Um, so like we have different motivators of what it is. And I think for me, as I said, women.
Perfect.
Great. Um, um, so the reason I wanted to be a rock star, the reason I wanted to do that was, I think, mainly because I wanted people to look up to me, and I think I wanted to prove that I could do it more than anything,
Yeah, that makes sense.
you know?
That sounds like you.
But what the need
Yeah.
was, it was more than that. It was deeper than that. I wanted to prove that I was worth something.
Hmm.
And that was the path that I thought in my brain was going to be the path to being worth something. And now I can feel like tears starting to come up into my eyes, because now we're striking a deep kind of chord here, right? Because that's not the path to being worthy or worth something. In fact, it's kind of the path to, in a lot of cases where I've seen rock stars and all this kind of stuff get caught up in a lot of crazy lifestyle things, you can feel even more worthless and empty as a result, right? And it doesn't have to be that way, but it takes the right kind of mindset, right?
Mhm.
I remember I was very famous in my school. By the time I was a senior in high school, I was very famous. And apparently, coming to find out now, years later, after I was out of that school, like, there were a lot of girls that wanted me when I was in school. I had no idea.
Mhm.
But part of it was just because, I was an athlete, I was a swimmer, and like, so I was in shape, and I'm not like the ugliest thing in the world, um and I was a really good musician and a drummer, and I had done all this kind of stuff with music, and so, like, people saw me, and there was this fame that, like, everybody knew who I was. And so, still to this day, my mom will be like, she'll be like, "Hey, so I talked to so and so today." She'll talk to me on the phone, or I'll run it, or we'll talk in person or whatever. I'll be like, and she's like, "Hey, I ran into so and so today. Do you remember them?" And I'm like, "Nope, I have no idea who you're talking about." And she's like, "Oh, they knew you." Yep, that's how it went, right?
Mhm.
And I don't know, like, it's crazy because you do some of those things, and I didn't even realize it was happening, but, like, that's just, how it went, and it was kind of empty. I didn't even notice. But then I started to come up to, it was like, really, I love music, and I wanted to be able to do music as a career. And the fame and the money didn't matter as much as just being able to do it for a living. I wanted to be able to support myself doing what I loved doing. And that's after you kind of ask yourself these questions of, why do I want to be here? Why do I want to do this? Da 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 da. And you find out it doesn't take as much as you think to lead a fulfilled life as a musician, and you don't have to deal with the fame as much, which I started to learn about myself. Really, the thing about being famous for me was to feel like I was worth something. And that's not where you find it. Wix said it really great. Um, Honestly, a lot of those could be achieved, plus some more inner fulfillment and positivity for the world, by dedicating some time to a community group or cause of some sort. Absolutely. Or even just making a difference with individual people.
Mhm.
One of the reasons why I love doing this show so much, it's very fulfilling to talk to people and, walk through an issue and make a difference to somebody's life. And when somebody comes and talks to me and says, "Hey, you really impacted me, this way," that means so much more. And it does add to some self-worth. to know that I'm doing something good. So I find that what I was actually looking for wasn't in the fame, but it's now become, it's more of making a difference for people, making a difference in people's lives. That's way more fulfilling than just an idea of me being popular or famous or whatever. Because when I was famous in high school, I didn't even know it. Like I said, like everybody knows who I was in high school. People that were in that school, everybody that was my grade or younger, because this really kind of started happening as I was a junior in high school and then a senior in high school, you know,
Mhm.
everybody knew me. They didn't know me. I had like 6 friends. So they didn't really know me. They just knew who I was. And, it just, I didn't, I don't know, it was crazy. But I didn't have all the trappings of success and all that kind of stuff that went along with it. It was just everybody kind of knew who I was. And then I get into the bar circuit, and then people kind of started to know who I was and all that kind of stuff. And then you get, you know, girls coming up to you and they're like, "Hey, you want to take a ride on my motorcycle?" And I'm like, no. So I knew I wasn't in it
No,
for the chicks.
the answer is how fast does your motorcycle go?
Right.
And then they'll tell you, oh, it's this fast. All right, well, you
It's
better start
funny.
going.
It's
I want
funny.
to see ya.
There's this one time.
So that's how fast you
This.
can get out of here? Go for it. Bye.
This chick asked me that, I was playing at a biker bar, and she's like, "Hey, you want to go for a ride on my motorcycle?" I'm like, "What kind of motorcycle you got?" And she said what it was, and I'm like, "Isn't that a moped?" And
Oh,
she looked at me with the most evil look. Like,
oh, Joe. Wow.
she didn't want to take me for a ride anymore after that.
Isn't that a moped? Wow.
Yes. Um. Yeah. So it's crazy, but I think the bottom line is really, what are you seeking the fame to do for you? Like Ryan said, that's really kind of what it boils down to in my head too. You want to be wealthy? You want to be rich? There are ways to do that without being famous. That just takes solid financial principles, and working hard and discipline, right?
Mhm.
Taking advantage of opportunities that come your way and being disciplined about it. Like, you can be very wealthy without being famous, and you can be very famous and not be wealthy, and you can be both. You know, hey hero, it's good to see you. When I say ride, you say how fast. But so I don't know. Is it stupid? Not at all. Not at all. And I do think you're right, though, Anonymous, that, I don't know if everybody wants to be a famous pop star, but I think I think it's pretty common that people play around in their head with, what if I was famous? What if I was, this type of person? And it's okay. It's okay to want that. But it really always comes back to why. Why do you want that? And if it's to fulfill some kind of emptiness in your life, I don't think that's going to, that isn't the way to do it. It's not the solution to filling the emptiness in your life or filling some kind of a void in your life. The same with relationships. I know people who, like, they monkey branch from one relationship to another to another to another, and they think relationships, because, and it's not that it's wrong to be in a relationship. It's just that what they're trying to do is fill some kind of void that they feel inside, and they think that's the way to do it. And they discover with each person that that's not the person, and so they find another one, right? But really, what they're seeking to fill is something that a relationship with another person can't fill. And I don't know. These are things that I'm still learning. Um, so maybe I'll have more information. But the thing that you need to fulfill you is within you. It doesn't come from outside. It doesn't come from fame. It doesn't come from money. It doesn't come from romance. It doesn't come from all that kind of stuff. It's in you. And sometimes we just have to find it. And sometimes it comes from an unlikely place. But so the search for fulfillment is an interior one. But yeah, I guess I don't know if that's the reason you want to be famous, but for me, that was a big reason, was this fulfillment, this feeling worthy, this feeling like I'm worth something. And I discovered that that was always inside me. I just didn't recognize it. I didn't give it light, and I'm still learning to give it light. But anyway, I don't know. That's kind of what I got. So no, it's not stupid. The answer to your question is no.
No. No, no, and no. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
uh, yes. So anyway,
Um,
hopefully that's helpful, Anonymous. Ryan, did you have anything else to say?
I just want to wrap it up with this quick thing.
Mm-hmm.
We've prefaced a lot of like danger, like don't get caught up in that, don't, make sure you've got good intentions, blah 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 blah. Because we've seen a lot of people go down a bad rabbit hole, or have experienced it ourselves, whether it be with fame or anything. And so all we're doing is giving you some caution while also saying what you're experiencing is normal and there's nothing wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
And desires are in human nature. Um, but like any desire, prudence is important. Uh,
Yes.
discernment is important.
Yes.
So that's all we're saying is it's fine and dandy. Just throwing caution out there because it's one of those it's one of those things that catches a lot of people, and so just don't want it to catch you in the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's all. But if you feel like your intentions are good and you've got some things you want to do for the world and stuff like that through fame, then if fame is something that fuels your fire, puts that fire underneath you, that it's it causes you to move, and you can use that to excel at doing incredible things in the world, then that's awesome. You know, I mean, there are literally amazing technologies that have been invented that we get to use, and we're so thankful for. And the person that invented that technology was just trying to get famous. And it's like, wow, well, thank you. Thanks. That's awesome. Or the person was just trying to make money. It's like
Mm-hmm.
we use a lot of our electricity and stuff like that, light, light in general, light bulbs, etc. And a lot of machinery, plumbing, our the way we structure our houses, computers that you're literally using right now to watch us on. The motivation can be a bit wild,
Mm-hmm.
for many different possibilities for what the motivators could be. But fame and money and so on, sometimes that's enough to motivate someone to create something new that the rest of the world is going to use and take advantage of to do even more cool things.
Hmm.
And so motivators aren't inherently wrong. They can be, but they're not all of them. They're not all equal. But motivators, if you can use them for good, then that's awesome. That's all I wanted to add with, just to solidify that you're not wrong or bad or whatever, and that isn't necessarily a bad sign of any kind.
Hmm.
That you would want to be a rock star or anything like that. That's totally cool.
Hmm.
Um, we just wanted to make sure that you got yourself straight, the best you can before you get yourself in a position where it's harder than it needs to be, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's all I wanted to add.
Cool. Well, Anonymous, thank you so much for the topic, and hopefully we answered your question well. Hopefully we gave you some stuff to think about. Um, Now, neither of us are hugely famous by any means, but we've also, you know, experienced some degree of popularity. And yeah, I mean, yes, hero, we will pray for you.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for making music.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. So dang. Thank you guys so much for the being in the chat and for all of your input and everything. Um,
Yeah. This has been great. Thank you
mm-hmm.
guys.
Mm-hmm. Daryl Kennedy. What? Oh my gosh. That is an inside joke of inside jokes, man. I don't think anybody here in the chat knows who Daryl Kennedy is except for me and Jeff.
I don't know who it is, so yeah, above my head.
Ultra motivational concepts.
That almost reminds me of
Dude was something
and
else, man.
I'm sure that's not the same at all, but it reminds me a little bit of Power Director.
Power Director.
Yeah, that's one, yeah.
He's much more famous and successful than Daryl Kennedy, I think. I don't even
Oh,
know if
wow.
I don't even know if Daryl Kennedy is still alive, but
Okay.
he was kind of old like years ago. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, he was a funny guy, man. He was cool. He was really nice, but yeah, he had some interesting stuff to sell you.
Hmm. Nice.
But anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here on Don't Worry Wednesday. Are you're still here next week, right?
Oh, shoot. I leave next week,
You leave next week.
and
What day?
yeah, I don't know right now. Oh wait, yes I do. Hold on, let me just look at the calendar and then I'll tell you. I will not be able to be here for Don't Worry Wednesday.
Next week?
That's right.
Because Wednesday
Because
is October 1st.
yes, and October 1st is the day our plane is in the air.
Ah ha ha
And
ha ha.
we land on
Ah ha
October
ha ha.
3rd. Yeah, that's a
Dang.
long flight.
Dang, bro.
We and it's not like we leave at the end of the day on October 1st. It's just that the flight time is so long and we're crossing over many time zones to get to our destination. So, yeah.
Yep, you just told the internet.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kat, for thanking Ryan for telling the internet.
Oh, ah, that was the other person that helped. Kat. Kat, thank you for correcting people in their misunderstandings about relationships on Twitter and that whole
Ah,
situation.
nice.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. To make sure that they recognize that you and Amory were not together.
No, never,
Not
never, never
even
dated,
ever.
never anything. Just
Yep.
friends.
Yep.
Yeah.
And co-creators of It's Not Like I Like You.
Yeah. Co-creators of It's Not Like I Like You. Her husband is amazing. and he's a great guy, great friend of mine as well. Um, yeah, yep. Thanks, cats. Oh wait, actually, this might be a different cat. Darn, this doesn't have the Z at the end. That's not
Right.
cat.
I don't think it's
That's
cat.
just regular cat. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, cat. I read the Z into your name. You are a different person. My apologies.
Yes. Although maybe it is the same person. Cats
Wow.
cats
Jeez,
does
that would be quite a example.
what?
Oh, what? Plot
Wait a
twist.
minute. Wait a
No.
minute. Is this an
Why?
alt account
What is
for
going on? Is this like an alt account? It must be then. Plot twist.
My
I
brain hurts
recognize
now.
the
I'm so
my
confused.
laptop died. I have too many accounts. Oh my gosh. I recognize the image in there and everything. And so because I recognize the image, I was like, that must be cats then. And then oh my gosh.
Wow. Yeah. I always see
Oh my
KAT and I
gosh.
always put a Z at the end of it too.
Yeah, it's just you
Yeah.
assume it's
I
there.
just assume it's cats, right?
That was a big plot twist. Oh my gosh. Well, at least you were part of the story. At least you weren't like coming in going, I don't know any of you. I don't know any of you people. I didn't do anything. What are you talking about?
Dang. So all right. So now the internet knows that
Mhm.
you have two wives
Two wives that are one and the
that
same,
are one person,
depending on the battery of the laptop.
depending. Oh, that's so funny. All right.
Wow, that sounds like a very that is not okay. Anyways,
Hero. What? You mean to tell me that these two people that happen to play characters in media aren't together? I know, right? Isn't that crazy?
yeah, I know, right? That's how people
Crazy.
just yeah.
Yep. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being here with our drama and craziness.
Hmm.
And we'll see. Like I'm gonna try to plan on still doing Don't Worry Wednesday, and I'll have to find a sub because
Yeah.
Ryan's not gonna be here.
If you guys want to
And
sub,
I guess that
message
means,
Joe.
dang, no wonder you guys are all like, Joe, we need to get together because you guys are leaving next week.
Yeah, we're gone soon.
Guan
Gone.
for an unknown amount of time.
Yeah.
Hopefully not too long.
That is a fantastic light novel title, by the way. That absolutely would be the name of an anime and or light novel in Japan. I may or may not have two wives depending on the battery of the laptop.
Oh, that's great.
Episode 2, The Fight with the Monkey.
Yeah. What? The fight with the monkey?
Yeah, but you gotta have a great title, for
Oh.
every episode. Yeah.
Right on, Mianglios. Hit me up.
I'll binge. That's so great.
Okay. Yes. I make no commitments to even be here myself.
Good.
I think the job we're working on now is kind of winding down and we're finishing it up, so I don't think there'll be a problem with it. I think we'll be just fine. But yeah, last time you
Cool.
weren't here, things ended up being crazy and I ended up working. So but anyway.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Neocleus.
Yes, thank you so much. And yeah, guys, thanks for being here. It was great hanging with you.
It was.
Next time you see Ryan, there'll be a different background. Next time you see me, it'll still be
That's
the
true.
mushroom forest. Probably.
That's probably true.
Unless I decide to change it.
Yeah.
I've got a few other backdrops.
He can do that.
I have done it before.
Mm-hmm. How many of you how many of you know Joe's different backgrounds and what they are?
Ooh.
Can anyone name any of Joe's
Ooh.
backgrounds?
other than the mushroom forest?
outside of the mushroom forest because that one is on right now. I wonder,
And I wonder, is there a
is
forest?
there a
Well,
forest?
there's a mushroom forest.
There's a mushroom forest, but we're not allowed.
A
Yeah,
non-mushroom
there.
forest?
Dang, Wix already has at least a couple.
Yep,
That
Marhandi,
about, that
yep.
about covers it.
There's a bookshelf. I had the bookshelf backdrop.
Oh my gosh, happy
Up.
birthday, hero.
Wow. Happy birthday. There's the city one. Yep, there
Yes,
was a city
that's
one.
right.
You're right.
That's right. You got it in the wheels.
There's a bookshelf. I do have a
Mm.
forest. I don't know if I ever used it.
Um, what color is the forest?
Well, I have a green forest one, and then I also have like another.
I'm not sure you've used it.
I don't. Yeah, it's really green, and it's like I remember putting it up and
No.
like looking at myself with it, and all you could see was like the trunk of this tree, and then green, like green everywhere. Like oh, this isn't the
Okay.
right backdrop for this type of screen, right? Like this one, you can actually make out, and you can see the different mushrooms. You can't see the whole thing. There's a lot more
Mhm.
to this, but at least it's interesting enough in that area that's behind me. But that one was zoomed in a little bit too close on some of that stuff.
Speaking of green, your favorite color, Joe.
Yes, it is my favorite color.
I've put your favorite color in the chat, but you're gonna have to Google it yourself.
Huh? I
That's
don't
the hex
see.
code for.
Oh, is that my favorite
That's
color shade of green?
yeah. Go ahead and Google it. Tell me if it's your favorite shade.
Okay, hold on.
And you want to attach the color name as well, so that you get the actual name of that color. By the way, I found this on accident while we were setting up the stream today.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, what? That is quite laughable.
What?
Did it come up? Yeah, that's right, Jeff.
No, it didn't come up.
You can't. You didn't come up. It didn't come up with anything when you did the hashtag color name. Hashtag
Oh, that's like
E1
this. That's
E8.
like the color of my shirt green.
There you go.
It's like it's too bright of a green. That's not my favorite color.
Okay, do you see the name of the color?
Kidnapper color.
Who
Is that what it is?
yes, who names a color green? What should this color green be called?
Kidnapper.
Kidnapper. Kidnapper green.
But it's like a bright
What?
green, like a light green. That's like
It's the color of your shirt, I guess. Yeah.
it is. It basically is the color of my shirt.
Hey guys, I'm wearing my Kidnapper green shirt today.
Yeah.
Kidnapper. That's the name of the color green. I didn't name it.
Kidnapper color.
Yeah.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
I do not understand, but there we have it, guys.
Yeah.
I'm
There's
glad that's not your favorite color
mountains.
green. Mhm.
There is a mountain. There's a sci-fi one. Wix, you
There.
pay attention.
Yeah, you're teaching the color wheel. You're teaching the kids the color wheel, and then that one comes up. That's funny.
Here's kid. What? Here's another color green called lap zipper.
Lap zipper. Is that basically just the zipper on your pants?
No. It's the color of the guide that teaches you how to sew a lap zipper.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we've got
Yeah.
cadet blue, which is kind of greenish. We've got opal, Nostradamus color, pastel mint.
Drake's. See,
Somebody
Drake's
named
neck.
all these things. Somebody did this.
Yeah. Drake's neck green at least kind of makes sense because a dragon is usually, or a drake is usually a green dragon, I guess. So there's some, but it's specifically their neck. It's okay.
Here's another one called Kaffir Lime. Kaffir Lime.
That is actually a very delicious lime. It's not one that you eat just like you don't squeeze the juice out of it. It's actually the skin on the outside that has all of the yummy flavor, and you zest it into generally like hearty foods, not like sweet foods, but hearty foods.
Hmm.
And it's very common to do so in Thailand.
Huh.
I believe that's where they do that. Thailand. Yep, that's the kaffir lime. I would highly recommend if you've never had it, have it. It's amazing.
Hmm.
It's got such a bright. It is limey, but it's like its own thing. It's like very sweet and bright, and it's nice. It's great.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Actually, the reason I found out about it is I was in Australia and we went to our priest's house and we were talking with him and we went to his backyard and we were chatting and he's got these weird limes out back. And I was like, what are these? He's like, I don't know. Anyways, we took one. We took one home
Uh-huh.
and I looked it up. I Googled it after like it's sitting there for like several days. And then like finally, like probably a week or two later, we're like, let's use it. After I figured out what it was.
Uh-huh.
And then it was spectacular. It
Yeah.
was incredible. And so we used it quite a few times and then we ran out and I was like, we got to go back to the priest's house and tell him about how good these are. But
Yeah.
he won't believe us. So we'll have to make him a meal with it, give it to him, and then he'll know that he wants to keep those around.
Those are kaffir limes.
Yeah, kaffir limes. And they look
Kaffir
really
limes.
weird.
Yeah.
Did you look them
Weird.
up? They're really bumpy.
No.
Like look like a weird green brain
I just
almost.
was like, okay, I'm still dumbfounded by this being called the
Still
kidnapper color.
fair, fair. Seems right.
Kaffir lime images. Oh, they are bumpy. They are weird. Look at that.
Oh, Wix, I believe you.
I do
I
like
believe that.
limes. I like limes. I like
Mhm.
limeade.
Yeah, me too. Limes, I'm a big fan of limes.
Mm-hmm. Gasty pink. Marhandi says, here's one. Here's one what?
Yeah.
What you got?
What you got?
What you got,
What you
buddy?
gonna show? One.
Here's
I'm
one.
number one.
I'm number one. You must be number two. Wait.
Wow. We are number one. Hey. Is that how that goes? I don't know.
We're number one. You must be number two. Because we're going to beat the whoopsies out of you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
The link to a
I
website to
think that.
help propose names to color. Oh, okay. I got you. I got
Oh,
you.
it didn't come through. YouTube blocked it. That's
Yeah.
okay. It happens. We should probably end the stream.
Yes, we should.
Mhm.
Guys, thanks again. Thanks for being here. If you have a topic you want us to talk about, go to don'tworrywednesday.com, click the submit a topic button, and fill it out and do that. And yeah, I'll plan on being here next week with a substitute, and we'll have a good time. It would be good.
Mhm.
It would be very.
And if you're not here next
very
time,
good.
you won't have a good time.
Yeah, if you're not here,
That's not a threat.
you're not gonna have a good time. You can't have fun without you.
Yeah, but
Did you
yeah,
know that?
that's true. You can't have fun without you. That's right. That's true. And your attitude is really important,
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
true. But anyway, thanks
All
again,
right.
guys. We will see you next
Thank
time
you.
on Don't Worry Wednesday. Until then, be excellent to yourselves and to others. Get very good care of yourselves. And we love you guys. We'll see you next time on Don't Worry Wednesday. Until then, we love you. Bye-bye.
Love you guys. Bye now. Peace.